Hello everybody, and I want to welcome you to App Development second semester in the year 2022. I'm really excited to get back to work with you and develop some really interesting things with you in the second semester of the class. This first day back, we're going to be playing around with some games that are generated using code, and you're going to have a chance to see how the code works yourself by changing some things around. We're going to be using a library called SpriteKit, which is built into macOS, iOS, and you're going to be able to use playgrounds and ultimately build some cool games. Before we get into that, I want you to take a look at some of this SpriteKit code and just take a moment on your own to think about what you think this code will do. So just go line by line and make a sketch. And I'll just give you a moment to think about that on your own. All right, let's see what happens when we run this inside of SpriteKit. And it turns out nothing shows up. This is designed to give you not just some frustration to start the new semester with, but to tell you about probably the most frustrating part that you will inevitably run into as you develop your own games using SpriteKit. And that is that when you are creating sprites using SpriteKit, you can set all of the properties on your own of the sprite. Now, a sprite is something that is drawn to the screen. It could be a shape, it could be a circle, a square, it could be an image. It also could be a special effect that you might want to appear on the screen during your game. It's very important after you have created the sprite in code that you add the sprite to the scene. And so this last line that you see right there, self.addChild circle sprite, is something that you will need to add to your code if you want to actually see your sprite on the screen. This probably doesn't make a lot of sense right now, and that is okay. You're going to start looking at code in just a moment. But I want you to remember this moment where I told you that if you get to the situation where you try to create a sprite and it doesn't show up on the screen, this is probably what you are missing. When you do that correctly, you will see something that looks like this. Now today, I have created two games for you that are all coded within SpriteKit. One looks like this, and you'll see there are some circles on the screen that fall with gravity, and there's a rectangle with an image in there, and every once in a while you have a new blue circle that falls from the ceiling. If you are in the classroom, you will be able to play around with this and actually see that when you run this on an iPad, and you tilt the iPad from side to side, the circles will move in response to the direction that you are tilting that iPad. This doesn't, unfortunately, work on Swift Playgrounds when it runs on the Mac. You can play around with this on Swift Playgrounds on the Mac, but it just doesn't have that extra zing to it. There's a second game that I've added. It's the second page that's in the playground that you can download from Schoology, and it is this one. And the idea behind this one is that there is an emoji that you have to find, and each time you successfully find it, it mixes things up and gives you a new emoji for you to find. Your task today is to choose one of these to play with, and either one is fine. It doesn't matter which one you use. And you're going to do something that we've done a few times in this class, which involves finding something that you think you can change, changing it, deciding if you like it. And if you like it, find something else to change, and repeat until you've made something that is all your own. I've told you before that I call this the tweak, observe, reflect cycle. You find something you want to change, see what that change does to the experience, and then decide if you want to keep the change or not. And do that over and over and over again. You're going to take turns with someone else in the class to create something that is your own, that is unique. And we're going to spend about 30 minutes playing with this. And at the end, you're going to create a screen recording that shows what your game looks like at the end of that 30 minutes. And I've posted a video folder on Schoology that I then want you to upload your video to. My hope is that you are doing this with a partner so that you can bounce ideas off of somebody else as you develop a brand new game.